The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads, by a lot. Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time. President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet.
Well, look, that Alpha Grind product that's all over TikTok, if you go to Amazon and you type in libido booster for men, you're going to find it right at the top.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. It's going to be very tempting to use AI as a weapon. It's going to be very tempting. In fact, it will be used as a weapon.
It scares the hell out of me.
The danger is...
Have I ever told you the story of the
Victoria supplements that are very interesting. Work very well to...
Over the last couple of years, AI has got scary good. The rate in which it's improving is incredible. This Terminator, iRobot type future is becoming more and more believable with every single advancement. AI is now teaching AI. AI is now self-improving. They're using AI to build new AI systems. Just look at what they're doing at Boston Dynamics. It is very scary how realistic this iRobot world is becoming. Just look at the stuff that people like Bing are doing with their new chatbots. So if you haven't heard these stories, there is a New York Times columnist called Kevin Roose who was testing Sydney. Now Sydney is Bing's new AI chatbox. And throughout this testing, the conversation started to turn really creepy where Sydney, the chatbot, tried to convince Kevin to leave his wife for her and started telling him that she loves him. And there have been others, arguably even more creepy encounters with just the Bing chatbox. We just need to pause. We need to take a look at the situation, how it's advancing, and ask ourselves, do we want it? And if we do, how can we regulate it? And yes, AI is helpful. It's improving a lot of situations in life. Just 2 years ago, AI sucked. Remember that robotic voice? It was terrible. Images were weak, and as for AI that looked like something or someone, it was incredibly easy to be able to tell apart the real thing. The issue is not that how fast it's improving or that all those kinks have been worked out. The issue lies with how easy it is for anyone to utilize this technology. For example, I use Canva, which I would not class as a high-end piece of software. It's good for things like proposals or whipping up a presentation or a graph. But as far as editing something like a photo or a video, it's got restrictions. But they've released their own AI system within the photo editing. So I thought I'd give it a go, and I very much expected it to be terrible. Because like I said, this ain't no Photoshop, I would never classify Canva as like a photo editing software. And yet the AI was actually scarily pretty good. I mean, here's some things that I did to myself within minutes. I can change my whole face, I can put things in my hand that are not there, I can change the clothes I'm wearing. It's actually really good, and that was only with a few minutes of playing around with it. It just goes to show that this rapidly advancing technology can be used by anyone and freely used at that. So let's get into the issues that have already been a problem, keeping in mind that this technology is still advancing and it's still very much in its early days. So it starts with deepfakes. Okay, the problem really began with these deepfakes. People started realizing that you can quite easily and cheaply and convincingly make yourself look like someone else. It's basically Photoshop in video format. I mean, I follow this guy on TikTok who does the Tom Cruise thing, and I'm embarrassed to say for the longest time I thought this was actually Tom Cruise and not a deepfake. Like, it does look realistic. I know you can point out things, and if you really analyse it, you can say, that's not real, is it? That's not real. But out of context and at first glance, it looks scary real. The problems started to lie when people turned this into like this creepy, people started getting really perverted over it, right? So we started seeing deepfake categories prop up on adult websites where people would take a celebrity and superimpose their face on someone who's doing something, you know. But people were taking faces of celebrities and putting them on adult entertainers, right? And it started to look realistic. And at first, a lot of us just kind of ignored this as that's someone's, you know, perverted fantasy. We know it's fake, they know it's fake. If that's what gets them off, if that's what they're into, let them do it, but it's not really bothering anyone. Even the celebrities themselves, they knew it was fake. They knew everyone else knew it was fake. So I don't think they cared too much about it. But the main thing was you had to have quite the knowledge of how to use this software and how to actually do that. It wasn't easy, which is why it was only really used for people who were popular, people like celebrities. But as the technology has become more readily available and as it's got better, we've started to see people using it for regular people like streamers. So there's this Twitcher called Pokimane, or I think it's Pokimane. You know, she did an interview with Anthony Padilla where she explicitly pronounced her name, and I've already forgot it. Well, let's go with Pokimane, even though I know that's not right. There was a scandal where someone did deepfakes of her, which was really intrusive, and then people started to see these deepfakes a little bit differently. It was no longer just a celebrity, which was obviously fake and left to someone else's fetish. It was now imposing on people's privacy. It was now taking regular people, streamers, into doing it. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Now, the thing is, moving on to streamers, it just shows that it's a segue into the fact that people are doing this to anyone. And as it goes into regular people, it's no longer as obvious that it's fake. Those people can't protect themselves. They don't have the power to say, of course I wouldn't do that. So now it's questionable. Even though you know it's fake, there's a lot of other people that might think it's real. So now it starts to become very intrusive. And as it becomes easier, people are less likely to do it to gain some views online or to gain some traffic, and do it more for their own perverted satisfaction, which means it suddenly starts leaking into everyday life. It's probably already started happening now, and it won't be long until it starts happening more, where it's no longer people deep faking celebrities and streamers, but now they're deep faking your own mother. They're deep faking your wife, your daughter could be deep faked. It's the girl at school. It's your best mate's girlfriend who it's happening to. And regular people, they're not going to be able to shut it down quite like celebrities are. They're not going to be able to prove that it's fake. It's an absolute violation. But it's not just violating people, it's scamming people. Think about if this happens to the regular person and someone tries to use it as blackmail. It's one thing to say, well, that's not me, put it out there, I'll just say it's not me, because people do that anyway when it is real. So it used to be that if you want to violate someone in this way and blackmail them, you at least have to get the photos. So the easiest way to stay out of any kind of issue like that was to never take the photos anyway. But now even that doesn't help you, because people can just deepfake you with AI and just do it to you without you having to do anything, and they can still blackmail you for it. So now we're leaking into scamming people. And let's talk about scamming a little bit more. So in the last few years, audio has gotten really good with AI. Now all you need is to have a small clip of someone talking about whatever, and you can get them to say anything you want. Take the Kanye West example. This is something harmless, what somebody did where they took Kanye West's voice and made a rap song which sounds like Kanye West.
I got a fantasy that's beautiful, that's dark and twisted. So let's hear those vocals I just recorded now with Kanye over there.
I got a fantasy that's beautiful, that's dark and twisted. But I attacked the whole religion, all because of my ignorance. What was I thinking? That was some bitch shit. I lost Adidas, but I'm still Yeezy. Back in the kitchen, man, I'm a genius. Boys in the hood, just like I'm easy.
Now I'll be talking about that more in another video, so do stick around or follow for when that drops, because I'm going to concentrate more on that specific example. But what I want you to take from this is that now you can scam someone's voice. You know, someone did this with Joe Rogan, right? Where they made it seem like he was promoting a product that you... Just listen to this.
There's a category of supplements that are very interesting, work very well to increase testosterone by about 100 to 200 points.
Well, look, that Alpha Grind product that's all over TikTok, if you go to Amazon and you type in libido booster for men, you're going to find it right at the top. And that's because guys are figuring out that it literally is increasing size and making a difference down there.
It stimulates the testes, if you got those, to make more testosterone.
So that is completely fake. That never happened. That's AI Joe Rogan and an AI Joe Rogan voice being used to promote something, and a lot of people fell for this, and a lot of people did end up buying the product. They got scammed into thinking it was endorsed by Joe Rogan, which simply was not the case. So you've probably had this before, where you get that scammy email in your inbox, which is obviously fake, trying to scam you out of money. It says it comes from your bank, or Royal Mail is holding a package and you need to give some kind of details. You can always tell the fake because they've got these inconsistencies, spelling mistakes, or things like that that just doesn't seem like it's wrote by a professional. Whereas now with AI, you can sort out all those problems, and not only can you fix all those problems to make it look more realistic and sound more realistic, but you can also send it out to people at a much higher rate. So scamming has just become suddenly extremely easy to do. And it gets worse. Not only is this about taking your money or your dignity, there are people out there who can do and will do some terrible things with this. Take a look at this fake video.
Захисники. Бути президентом виявилося не так вже й легко. Я змушений приймати складні рішення.
So that's the Ukrainian Prime Minister, right? Saying something that he would never say. It's fake. Yet how many people are going to believe that? How many people are going to fall for that? How many people are going to lay down their weapons and just give up the war because the Prime Minister had said so, when that never happened? Here's one from Obama.
Enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things.
Here's one from Joe Biden.
Have I ever told you the story of the magical pistachio? I got lost in the grocery store and couldn't find my way out. But that's when I saw it, a glowing pistachio.
Now they're a little light-hearted, but think about the potential of what you could do with this. One man with limited resources and an internet connection could influence millions of people into thinking something crazy. He could start a world war by making world leaders think that something has been said when it hasn't said. Or what about the other side of this, where say the Prime Minister or the President does say something very important, but nobody believes it because everyone thinks it's just AI, everyone thinks it's a fake video. All of a sudden you've got to take everything anyone says with a pinch of salt because it could be fake. And if you open yourself up to putting photos of yourself online, videos or audio, you can easily have your identity stolen. And we're living in a world where putting audio of yourself, videos and photos online, it's just an everyday thing. We all do it, it's a part of life now with the way social media is going. So we all open ourselves up to this intrusion of privacy to where we can easily be scammed. Any one of these things could happen to us. Now I've got so much more to say on AI and where it's going and what we should be looking out for. But I'm going to split these videos up because I don't want to move on to a next subject, which will be art, and have you forget anything that I've said so far. I want to make it important. I want to make everything I say about this important. So I will split them up. So if you want to see my next video, like I said, that's going to be about art, do subscribe, or depending on when you're watching this video, check out my channel. For now, just keep in mind how easy it is to be scammed and how easy it is for people to do terrible things with this technology. And think about the fact that there's no way for us to regulate this as it stands. It's advancing quicker than any regulation is. Elon Musk is a major game player in this space, and here's what he had to say about it.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads, by a lot. Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. It's definitely going to be outside of human control. No one seemed to realize where this was going.
And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want.
It's going to be very tempting to use AI as a weapon. It's going to be very tempting. In fact, it will be used as a weapon.
So if that's coming from Elon Musk, it must be bad, right? Think about it.